Hi guys, Ray here from City Fan TV, and I'm here with Bernard Janine from the Citizen channel. How you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm big today, so I mustn't be pixelated. I must be all right today.
You're big. I mean, I've got you on big. I might put you on small now. There you go. Got to get that stuff from behind because obviously the Champions League is gone, so I should be really covering that up now. Should be blanking it out.
But anyway, guys. We got our history. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. And all those drongos who say City haven't got any history. Was it back in a couple of weeks ago, back in 1904 that we won the FA Cup?
Yeah.
120 years ago, guys.
Yeah, it's only Liverpool got a better span of winning trophies than us.
Yeah, and Liverpool, don't ever forget, Liverpool was simply set up as a money-making exercise for the owner. That was it. I'm going to get that in early, and we're not here to talk about that. But all those people who give jives about City and history and all that, and people still say City are a fake club, plastic club. Hang on, we won a trophy 120 years ago, and Liverpool, who you keep lauding, and Man United and all that, but Liverpool was set up simply to make money for the owner. That was it. He pumped them full of money. They won the title. What a surprise! So you want to talk about plastic manufactured fake clubs? Talk about Liverpool. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cough. Still had this for about 6-7 weeks now.
It's like that. I mean, I've obviously blocked a lot of people. I don't see a lot of rubbish, but they're having to dig at the City fans about the Milan coming. Obviously, I mean, as all the treble, as all no one was there. As treble. I mean, it was quite impressive. It's not the biggest one we've done. Not the biggest one I wasn't even in it, but it's not the biggest one I've seen or been in. But there's nothing. It was quite impressive. I thought the treble thing, the crowds and stuff. The return, and yet people are having a dig at City. It's better than your treble. And all you did a treble, you didn't match this. I thought, where are they getting all the crap from? Why did they just lie? They just lie.
Maybe that's if you. It's what the world is today. If you shout a lie loud enough, people will, and often enough, and long enough, people will hear it. And if it's the more absurd the lie, the more people want to hang on to it, even though.
Then you had United fans jumping on the bandwagon showing their parades, and I think that one up was about 20 people. That was it. When they did 19 or something. It's about the pouring rain. About 20 people. There's more police than United fans. So guys, there's how much it means to you. Don't show us big parades. What about these? What about this one here? What was this like?
I try not to get riled up about that. It's not.
I don't try because I say most of them are blocked or not blocked. I mute. You can mute, can't you? Now on it.
I'm a blocker. I'm not a mute. I'm a blocker.
There's a couple of Arsenal fans I muted yesterday. Couldn't believe the crap they were coming out with. So
can't believe you're following Arsenal fans.
I don't. They just appeared on mine from someone else. Someone else is quoting them and slagging them off, but I still get to see it obviously because they quote the original thing.
All right, guys, welcome to the Happy Channel. Right, we're here to talk. We're almost 4 minutes in. We're here to talk about the Wolves game this weekend.
Wanderers.
Are you going? You'll be going. I might even go. No one's offered me any work this Saturday. I've penciled it in. I said I'm not going to go and do any work. Anyway, if anybody offers, but hey, money talks, mate. When someone offers you a decent bit of work, it's hard to turn it down, but I'm hoping there's no last minute requests and take me day off and go and watch the footy. So it's a game to look forward to. We had a chat off air about Wolves. I'm sorry guys, you missed all the best stuff. But we're playing Saturday at 5:30. So we've got a bit of a
Arsenal have got a chance to put us under pressure, obviously.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the Arse do. I don't think Bournemouth are going to pose too many problems. So I'm assuming Bournemouth are going to go down meekly. Arsenal will win, be on top of the table, and we know we'll have to win. Let's assume that. Well, let's talk about Wolves for a bit, okay? Wolves, they had what looked like it was going to be a really difficult season ahead of them. And I'm pretty sure when we do that review of the season and I look back at the predictions we made, I don't think either of us predicted too much for Wolves. I might have been a little bit more positive than you because I like Gary O'Neill. I think at the level he's operating at, I think he's done really, really well. They started the season with Julian Lopetegui leaving at the last minute. I think
they had a lot of injuries at the start of the season, didn't they?
I think they sold a couple of good players as well. Injuries as well. They didn't have
because when we played, of course, I went to the Molineux one, and when we played them, I thought half the team was injured. I remember, and they still beat us, didn't they? So still a bit depressing.
So they've. I think they've done well to be where they are now. They're sat in 11th. Obviously, not in any risk of relegation. They've got 46 points. Their last few games, they've lost 3 out of the last 5 and drawn 2, and that's blown any. And I don't think it was a fair.
They won the last one, didn't they?
Yeah, sorry, they won the last one. So they've lost 3 out of the last 6. Sorry, take it back. Lost 3 out of the last 6, drawn 2. But those results have meant that any chance of getting into Europe, I think, is gone. They're probably looking at 7th or possibly 8th spot. I mean, for instance, West Ham are in 8th, and they're only 3 points ahead of Wolves. And actually, Wolves got better goal difference. And Wolves have lost 3 of the last 5. So if they'd won one of them, they'd be sat in 8th instead of 11th and knocking on the door for that Europa Conference League. But yeah, I don't think they'll get anywhere now. It's too late. Too many teams ahead of them fighting for that last Europa League spot. But as I said, I think they've done all right. They scored 48 goals, not a lot. They're letting 55, a bit too much, but they're sitting there comfortably in mid-table. Have they done better than you anticipated this season, Bernard?
I don't think so, particularly. As I say, I probably predicted to say we probably did. I don't know. I can't even remember. That was that long ago, mate. I've slept since then. I would have thought bottom half before the season started, based on last season. So I think the 2 to 5 on to finish in the bottom half. They're not expected to suddenly win the last 3 games and move up into the top half of the table. So. Hopefully, well, they can win a couple of them, but obviously lose the one against us. It doesn't matter. I mean, they got Liverpool, but they don't matter anymore, mate. Do they? They've gone anyway. So that's it. But I think more or less what I expected. I think Gary O'Neill joined right at the start of the season, didn't he? Brand new manager. I know you like him.
Yeah,
I'm a bit. Yeah, I don't. I think you said off there you like him, but whether he for a bigger team, if you like, whether he's got it to do that. But I think he's sort of Wolves is his level. In fairness, there's no disrespect. That's his level, I think.
I think mid-table. I think top half is his level. I think if he had I think if he had a little bit of money to spend in the transfer window.
Is he English? Is he English? O'Neill? Is he Irish?
O'Neill, mate. Yeah, I'm sure he is. He might.
I know with a name like O'Neill, he obviously could be English or Irish or whatever. But
yeah, he's English. He was.
I mean, as an English manager, we don't have many half decent ones, do we? And you would probably class him as an half decent English manager.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, he played for. I think he played for West Ham, didn't he? He's born in Kent. He's only 40, so he's still pretty young.
That's what I mean. Learn, and I think they play some okay football. As I say, with the with the sort of assets he's got, with the players he's got, he's probably punching above his weight a little bit with what he's doing.
He's probably. I think he's my favourite English manager at the moment. Partly because he's just noticed his birthday is same as mine. So. All the best.
A lot younger than you, though, mate.
Cheers, mate. Only by 15.
And thank you, Bernard, for joining me on the show.
He's only by 15.
We've lost Bernard all of a sudden.
Yeah, he's only 15 years younger than me, but actually, I look younger than him, so I'm not too worried about that. But no, I think he's done pretty well. I think mid-table is his level. As I said, if he had a little bit of money, got 1 or 2 players. Maybe they can finish top half, but I can't see a big one of the top 6 or 7.
United aren't coming in for him.
Well, United are not a big club, mate. Not anymore.
Top 6.
Certainly not in footballing terms. Certainly not. So I can't. So I think his level. I mean, West Ham might be interested in him actually.
Yeah, but I think he's a good shout because I don't think he's on borrowed time now. I think.
Yeah. See, I think his level, if you look at the clubs around him, I think his level is Wolves, Bournemouth, Brighton, Fulham, West Ham, that sort of level. I don't think he's bad enough to go to Man United, or good enough to go to Newcastle. So I think his level is, for me, an 8 to 12 finishing position manager.
Which is pretty good. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and not wrong with that. Look, I don't think we'll ever know. I don't think we'll ever know what he could do with a top squad. But you can't. I don't think you can knock him, because he did well at Bournemouth. He was treated badly at Bournemouth, I think, to give him the boot there, and he's done really well at Wolves under difficult circumstances. And as I said, it'll be interesting to see whether he can maintain what they've done and push ahead next season if he's got a little bit of money to spend. I think any team that's getting, I mean, with all due respect, any team that's getting Tommy Doyle and he's playing a decent number of games, they haven't got the money. And that's no slight on Tommy Doyle. I think he's a decent player, but I'm not sure, from what I've seen from him, he's certainly not going to be at City for much longer, Tommy Doyle, because he's not.
Their ambitions of Europe and stuff have sort of nosedived last couple of seasons, haven't they? They always thought the Wolves were knocking on the door, and they've sort of stymied a little bit.
But it hasn't helped when, to keep moving. Unfortunately, to keep moving forward in this league, you've got to be spending the money, and you've got to keep your better players. We've seen so many teams who have either spent the money or haven't been able to spend the money, you struggle. Spend the money in the wrong way, Everton, you struggle. Or got rid of their better players, like Southampton. And we've said it many times. Can you imagine what Southampton would be like if Virgil van Dijk was still there, if Sadio Mane was still there? One or two other good players that Liverpool especially nabbed. Can you imagine what Southampton would be? A top club, but you just can't hang on to those players. So, and that's what it is. So Wolverhampton Wanderers, I know we began with a W. A decent season for them. They're coming to us in pretty lousy form, if we're honest about it. The form has been, apart from that win against Luton. Before that, I'll look at some of their recent games. In April, lost at home to Bournemouth, lost at home to Arsenal, drew away at Forest, lost at home to West Ham. It's terrible to lose all these home games. Drew away at Burnley. Terrible April for them. Before that, they lost away to Villa, lost at home to Coventry in the Cup, beat Fulham at home, got battered by Newcastle. I mean, let's be honest, it's a terrible run, because I said 1 win in 6. If you look back, it's 2 wins in 10. 2 wins in 10 games, I believe. And that includes, just working it out, 2 wins in 10. Is that 7 losses? So 2 wins, couple of draws, 6 losses. It ain't great. It isn't good at all. So anyway, but before that, they had a really good, decent February, where they lost at home to Man United, but they beat Chelsea away, they beat Spurs away, Sheffield United at home, Brighton at home. So they're a bit topsy-turvy. Their current form is 2 wins out of 10, coming to the home of the champions. And the least you'd expect is 4 points, isn't it, Bernard?
4 points away, I wish, mate.
Well, no, 4 points. 3 points for the win and 1 point for getting our goal difference back up. No.
Well, let's just get the win, mate. I mean, we'll give our prediction before we go, no doubt. But I don't think we'll probably win by any much more than Arsenal will probably win against Bournemouth. Put it that way.
Yeah. If we win.
If we win, yes, of course. These are the sort of games that could trip us up, where we're sort of calm. I mean, I was a nervous wreck at Forest, that's for sure. I've never been so nervous in my life. I'll be honest with you. For the last few seasons, I don't think it was one of the nerviest I felt before a game. So I think
I was going to say, we felt tension. There's lots of games where you're anxious and you feel tense, but the Forest game was different, wasn't it? It was more nervous than tense.
Yeah, that's probably the right word. Yeah, I mean, As I say, I don't. When I'm there, I'm usually all right. If I watched on telly, it would have been awful. But if I'm there, I can cope better. I can even take defeat better if I'm there watching it. I can't. But watching it on the goggle box, I get too stressed out watching it on telly.
I totally agree, because I'm the same when I'm there. I don't think I always think we can sort it out.
Yeah.
On nearly every game. I think one of the only times I didn't think we could sort it out was that Liverpool Champions League game, and I left with my mate after like 78 minutes or something. Got a lot of abuse for that, but that's it. I think in my memory, that's the only time I can remember leaving a game early. Certainly not, not an injury time or something. Certainly that early. But yeah, so we obviously, more than likely, we're assuming Arsenal are going to win, so we've got to win. Whatever happens, if Arsenal draw and we can win, that'd be incredible for us. I'm not about lose or draw; it makes no difference, because if Arsenal draw, they'll be 2 points ahead, and if we win, we'll be 1 point ahead of them. And then we can afford. We don't want to, but like last season, we can afford to. Last season, we could afford to drop 5 points in the last 2 games and still comfortably win. So it'd be interesting, but I look at this, whatever Arsenal do, win, lose or draw, we've got to be going for the win. We're at home, where I suspect we've got a pretty good record at home this season. We haven't lost. We've drawn the only niggly thing at home, we've drawn a few games. Off the top of my head, we drew against the Spuds, we drew against Chelsea, we drew against Liverpool, we drew against the Arsenal, we drew against Crystal Palace. That's a lot of points to lose, to drop at home. And that's the only slight fly in the ointment for me, is that we might end up with the draw, but we've got to go out to win. And I'm sure when we come to the score prediction, you'll predict a City win. I don't expect anything less. But let's have a look at the team, the lineup. Obviously Phil Foden and Ruben Dias were missing for last game through illness. I'd hope that they're back. I think before that we had someone else out missing from illness, so it might just be someone that's going through the squad. Hopefully, it's whatever it is, it's past.
As you say, you don't know if anyone else has come down with it. Well, they've only just returned to training today, haven't they? They've had a couple of days off, so.
Yeah. So it's Wednesday.
Images yet of the training and who's training, etc.
I don't see realistically an issue with them being able to play on Saturday, because it's. I think it's if there are certain illnesses that can dehydrate, that can fatigue you. If you've been, if you've got terrible gastroenteritis or something for 3 or 4 days, that can leave you very weak, and you might not be able to fully recover by after 2 or 3 days. But you'd like to think that whatever it is, if they're training again today, they'll be ready for the weekend. So I think we're ready with a full squad.
Apart from Edison.
He's not going to be fit? You reckon he'll be out?
Well, that's what Pep said. Pep said he could be out for the season.
Nah, I don't believe that.
He had his arm in a sling, and all that's probably precautionary, but do you really think he's all right?
If he's out for rest, I don't know what the injury is, but if he's out for rest of the season, what a soft lad. What a soft lad.
Well, I said you might have seen what I've been saying. I've been saying I can't understand Edison. He's had his head chopped off in the past and played 3 games later, and all of a sudden this season he keeps getting little knocks and dropping out.
He's been bulletproof injury-wise. Yeah, bulletproof.
Absolutely. He's a monster. And this season, that's the 3rd time I can remember him going off injured, isn't it? Certainly 2.
Yeah, he's missed, this is the 3rd time he's gone off, yeah. I mean, when Sadio Mane booted him in the head, he was playing the next game.
He was fine. He just had a bit of a bandit. That was it. A bit of a plaster. He had a plaster on his, he had his head chopped off and kicked off, and he still turned. But I think it's the pressure. I think it's the pressure of Ortega. To be honest, I think everything. I think Ortega's presence is sort of making him a little less
secure.
Not up for it, but a little less dynamic, a little less confident in himself.
Well, we said it the other day. Ortega would make most Premier League teams. He's that good. So
he's got a battle on. Simple as that. Me, I've always raved over Edison over Ortega, but we've got joint number ones for me at the moment. I don't think
there's a lot of difference. I
didn't even know we changed goalies. on
Yeah,
given
yeah.
day. I didn't know. I've said it on my thing and what have you. I got back to the coach. I was reading the review of Simon Pekowski, and it said Ortega 46 minutes. And I didn't even know. I thought it was Edison. I thought because it was up the other end, obviously. And I've got my lenses in, and he played, which is good in a way because it showed that he played almost the same as Edison would have played. So, you know, I
don't think there's a lot of difference.
idea.
I don't think there's a lot of difference between them.
No.
I think Edison's probably got a bit better with his shot stopping. Or that's what it feels like. Ortega's hopefully getting a little bit better with his longer passes. I think that are the difference between the two players. And Edison's passes over, say, 30 yards. He's more of a pinger than Ortega, but that's probably because Ortega hasn't played enough and he hasn't got enough the confidence. Or
I think it's there because I remember him pinging a couple of long ones the other day. I remember that.
Yeah, so he's great for me. He's all right. So go on then. I want to know, because the interesting thing is, started off
with certain players we want to, I think, should be dropped. I will use the word dropped, and one of them is Walker. I think he should go. I think he should miss this one.
He won't. Okay, I don't think he will. He won't. It's one of those. It's hard to explain. Okay, because I watched this. Okay, I'll tell you. I watched this guy who's he works in marketing and advertising and stuff, and he talks about certain brands and why people stay with them. And I'll give you an example. He talks about McDonald's. Okay, why it's one of the most popular burger fast food joints out there. He said people know they're not going to get the best quality. They know that, but they also know it's consistent and it's not crap, and it's somewhere in the middle. So if you give it out of 10, you might give it a 6 out of 10, but you'll always get a 6 out of 10. And you don't want to go to a new place in case it's absolutely terrible. So it's the fear of the unknown as well. And I think some of that is with Walker. He's not the best now. He's a 6 or a 7 guy. But the worry is if you go away from him, you go somewhere else and it doesn't work, you'll kick yourself because why didn't I stick with my McDonald's in Kyle Walker? But I agree a lot. I've talked to you about this before. I want Kimmich. I think he's available, and I want him as
against Wolves, though, mate.
What's that? But I want Kimmich. He's my man for the right back and to cover for Rodri when we need him. And I think
we're talking Wolves, mate. We're not talking defensive double next season and new treble.
Okay. All right, so let's go back to the Wolves.
All right, so I accept. I mean, I've wanted because Lewis hasn't been getting much game time. We're playing Wolverhampton Wanderers, so with the Kanji and Aki and Gvardiol and perhaps Stones might even get involved. I thought we might not need Walker. That was all, but
and I understand that, but we've got a week before the next game.
Oh but I mean, Pep's not going to worry about resting. If he's going to play what he thinks his best team is.
It's got to be your best team. This game, next game, then before the Spurs see where you are. If Arsenal have dropped points and we've won everything, then maybe for the Spurs game you can rotate 2 or 3 players and then come out strong against the Hammers. So
I've not done my Pep's 11 yet, mate. I might change. I might change it now. I've done my script, but I might change it.
Well, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you because I wasn't thinking about Edison and Walker as where the questions were going to lie. Who you pick? It's Haaland.
I will still have to put Ortega in because I think there is a big doubt, and we won't know. Obviously, haven't got a clue, have we? Yeah.
Well, then I'll go with you on Ortega. Obviously, Friday.
If Edison's fit, he'll play. If not, of course.
We'll know on Friday. Pep will come out and say whether he's fit or not. So
the only top I've got at the back, if you look at the back that played against Forest, obviously I'd be quite happy with that back four. But is Stonesy not going to? Is Stonesy now just going to be a bit part player? Diaz. Is Diaz going to be a bit part player? Is he going to stick with the Kanji and Aki?
I think it depends whether you pick Kovacic. I think it depends. If you're picking Kovacic, then do you need to pick Stones? Or do you stick with your consistent back four? If you're not going to pick Kovacic and go with another attacker, and I think Pep will go with another attacker for this game, then I can see your wish being granted and Kyle Walker being unceremoniously dropped for John Stones right back. So I'll start you. I'll start you off. So we're going to go with Ortega in goal. Who's your back four?
I'm going to go with Walker now. You changed my mind.
Who else? Give me all.
I'm just going to go with the same one we played Forest.
Okay. I'm going to go, because I've got to mix it up. Got to make sure I lose. I'm going to go with Stones, Akanji, Aki, Gvardiol. Okay. Midfield?
Well, Rodders. I think Kovacic will get in this one. I think young Alvarez might drop out of this one for a start.
So you're having Kovacic and Rodri. Who else you have in midfield? So you got 4 more players now.
Yeah. Well, you said about an attacker. I'm thinking Doku might get another start, or
yeah.
I don't think Grealish will get a start against Wolves.
I don't think we need him.
No.
I think
Haaland's going to get a start. Obviously, he's not going to be on the subs bench. Haaland's going to play. Hopefully, this is a turning point, and what we saw a bit of a livelier Haaland will be back now till the end of the season. So I think Haaland. I think KDB might get a rest. Bernardo and Foden.
Wow. Well, because I'm leaving Kovacic out, I can have Rodri.
Yeah. If there's no Kovacic, if Kovacic wasn't there, KDB definitely.
Yeah. So I'm leaving Kovacic out because I'm putting Johnny Stones. I've got Johnny Stones and Akanji who can move into midfield. I'm going to have Rodri in midfield. In front of him, I'll have Foden and KDB. I've got 3 more players. And I'll have Doku, Haaland, Bernardo. I don't think you can leave Bernardo out.
No.
Even though I don't think he's playing as well as he should be playing. Even though KDB, I don't think he's playing as well as he should be playing. They're just too good a player to leave out. So, and Doku is the only one. You toss up between Doku, Alvarez, and Grealish. Now, Pep might go for Alvarez because he feels he's going to maintain. Well, as I said, you got 3 players.
I thought Alvarez played a little bit better the other day, to be honest with you, in that sort of role he had him playing a little bit. But
this is how I describe the 3 players. Grealish offers you control. And that's it. Very little dynamism from him these days. He offers you control. Doku.
No goal scoring threat.
That's the problem. There's nothing, no dynamism, no very little attacking threat. Doku is the opposite. He does offer you a lot of attacking threat. He offers you that ability to, turn a game on its head. But he loses the ball a lot.
Playing in his normal position rather than stuck on the other wing.
And Alvarez, I think, falls in between. He offers you the hard work that Grealish puts in, most of the control that Grealish has got, but he offers you a bit more in the attacking third because he does score goals. He gets into the right. Look, some of them, like the other week where he scored from, was it Walker's pullback? He's just in the right place at the right time. So sometimes,
well, he's in and around that box. So obviously, even though his finishing's been a bit dodgy.
Yeah. But so that's how I'd say it. You got Doku at one end of the spectrum, Jack at the other, and in between you got Alvarez, and it's just where Pep feels he needs. If he needs a ton of control to cope with whoever, then he'll go for Jack. If he needs a bit of both, you go with Alvarez. And if you think we've got enough control over the pitch, the Wolves are going to play 6 behind, 6, defensive, play something like 6-3-1, and you need to break them down. And all you're focused on is you can have 75-80% possession, then you go for Doku to break them down. So that's how I look at it. For now, I'm going with Doku, but I can see Pep going with Alvarez because for most of the season, that's the way it's been. He's gone with Alvarez. But they're all interesting games. Obviously, there's not a lot to go. Only 4 games to go. And as we said, 3 points is what's required. As usual, we're going to finish off with the age-old question. Score prediction, please.
Clean sheet this week. Clean sheet for City. 3-0.
3-0. Okay, I'm gonna go for it. 5-1. I'm going to go.
It makes a bloody change from 3-1 anyway. I'll give you that.
Yeah. It'll be 3-1 now, just you what. But one of the reasons for 5-1 is I think Arsenal. I mean, I think the way Arsenal are going, they can batter anybody. Apart from us, even us on a good day, they can batter anybody. And I think they could batter Bournemouth. But Bournemouth haven't let in, they're letting 60 goals, but I think Bournemouth have got a little bit about them. They're still chasing for Europe, right? At the moment, 7th is what guarantees you Europe. But if Man United beat City in the FA Cup, I think that gets number 8th position gets a look in. So that's
just the 7 then.
Yeah, just the 7. But who else is? So you got the European thing. Well, Liverpool are in there. I don't know what would happen if Villa won the Europa Conference League. Whether that would give us an extra position, I suspect it would. Especially if Villa are in the Champions League, and then maybe down to 8th gets you in. And Bournemouth are 1 point off 8th, having played the same number of games as West Ham and got a slightly better goal difference. So, if Bournemouth can draw against Arsenal and West Ham lose, Bournemouth leapfrog. And West Ham lose, Bournemouth leapfrog West Ham. So they're close. They're close to getting into Europe. So it's not a nothing game for them. It's not a nothing game for Bournemouth. And when Bournemouth look at the last 2 games, they can look at it and say, well, we're playing at home to Brentford. We can win that. Away to Chelsea, they could win that. So, Bournemouth get a point against the Arsenal. You never know. They might be in a position to knock on that door if it opens. So I'm just going on the basis that if Arsenal can win it by 2-0, 3-1, and we win 5-1, it gets us a little bit, a closer. Minimum is just win. But I also think it'd be nice to get that goal difference as well. I don't think we're going to catch up 7. But if we can catch up 2 or 3, it puts a bit more pressure on Arsenal as well. It puts them under pressure because they know with 3 games to go, if we thump 2 teams and draw 1 game, and those thumpings catch us up that goal difference. And these are the little things. When United, if you go back to 2012, United lost the league title. What did they lose it on? Goal difference. And which game cost them? Was that
1-0?
No. Which game cost them? Which was the real game that cost them?
In what way?
In the goal difference that season.
Oh, the 6-1.
Yeah.
That
was it. If they'd lost 3-1, I think they would have won the league. So, and they were just pushing for a goal when it shouldn't have been. And when they were 4-1 down, they shouldn't have been pushing anymore. And it's the same here. So if
he was angry, wasn't he, Fergie? He was angry at the what they did.
So what I'm saying is,
he should have sorted it. But there you go.
With 7 points, 7 goals different. Okay, if we can put Arsenal under pressure, if we can close that gap, let's say Arsenal win 1-0 and then we win 5-0. The goal difference is 3, and we could quite conceivably go and thump somebody. We could beat Fulham 3-0 and goal difference is gone. And then, then the pressure's on Arsenal because if you're beating a team 1-0 or 2-0, excuse me, and you're worried about the goal difference and you're pushing for more, you might concede a goal. That might give you the willies. You might concede a second goal. So however we can put that pressure on, we need to be putting extra pressure on goal difference as well. So that's a long-winded answer to say why I think
we don't. Well, obviously now we've got 6 days between games. Doesn't need to rest. We're flying. Fingers crossed. You just carry on flying, lads. Just keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. So fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed, and hopefully, I might see you at the game.
And when Wolves beat us, and we'll all be wondering what the hell happened there.
I'll behave, mate. Behave. I'll be wearing my lucky underpants.
I'll be agreeing with you, Gary O'Neill, next City manager.
Oh. Enough of that. Thanks a lot, mate. You take care. Thanks, guys, for watching. And as if you want to see a lot more City stuff on a daily basis, pop over to Bernard's channel, the Citizen channel. I'm a bit more infrequent these days. I'm really basically these days a preview and a review at the moment, so I've got time. But hopefully, I keep saying this, but we'll do some vids after season's over. You know, I know you guys want to hear about how well we did in our predictions. We might have to be quiet there. Didn't you say Arsenal won't be in the top 4? I can't remember now. One of us did.
No, I think we're in the top 4.
I think one of us Matt said Arsenal won't be in the top 4. I think I said Villa would be.
Might be you.
Might be me. Didn't you say Liverpool wouldn't be in the top 4?
I had Liverpool as our likeliest success. I think
we'll see. We'll see. People will want to know how we did it there, and we'll want to know what.
No, they won't. They're not interested. They're not. If we win the league and the FA Cup, mate, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It's true. It's true. There's no bonus points for getting positions right. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot. Take care, and we'll see you soon. See you around Blues.